Good morning, good evening, and then good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Upon Professional Baseball. Some of the games in the World Baseball Classic qualifiers, but they're the games between the Cubs and the Dodgers coming up, as they will be playing the Yomiuri Giants and the Hanshin Tigers before the Major League Baseball season gets underway in about a week's time or so. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups from the visitors from the Yomiuri Giants. Leading off and playing in right field tonight is number 13, Trey Cabbage. Batting left field is number 42, Elier Hernandez. Hitting third and playing second base is number 2, Naoki Yoshikawa. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 25, Kaz Okamoto. Batting fifth and center field is number 8, Yoshihiro Maru. Batting in the sixth spot and doing the designated hitting is number 6, Hayato Sakamoto. Hitting seventh and doing the catching, number 24, Takuzo Oshiro. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 5, Makoto Katawaki. And batting ninth and playing third base is number 40, Reito Nakayama. And they are going to be facing, it'll be Yusuke Ito, who takes to the hill tonight for Fukuoka. So far in the exhibition season, he has worked in one game. His record is 0-1. He's worked 2 innings. He's allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. He walked 1 and struck out nobody, and that is your lineup for the Giants. Now your starting lineup for the home team tonight, the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks. Leading off and playing in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Batting second and doing the designated hitting is number 45, Kenta Tanegawara. Hitting third and left field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. The cleanup spot and playing first base is number 5, Hotaka Yamakawa. Batting in the fifth spot and playing in right field is number 31, Tomoya Masaki. Batting sixth at second base is number 4, Jeter Downs. Heading seventh and getting the nod at third base tonight is number 52, Richard. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 12, Hiroki Minai. And batting last and playing shortstop wearing number 0 is Hikaru Kawase. And they are going to be facing Yori Yamazaki, who takes to the hill tonight for the Giants. He is 1-0. He has worked 7 2/3 innings in 3 games so far, allowing 9 hits, giving up 4 runs, all of which were earned, walking 3 and striking out 5, as he will take to the hill tonight. Well, hang tight, everybody. Our first pitch is just around the corner. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this to give you all the action. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The starter, Yusuke Ito, is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we're about ready to get this one underway here in just a couple moments. The 28-year-old, as we said, making his second appearance of the spring. He got roughed up in his first outing. This is the third and final game of the 3-game set between these two clubs. The first game on Tuesday night ended in a 4-4 tie. They don't go extra innings. That game was played in Nagasaki. And then it was yesterday, the ball game ended with a scoreline of 4-3 for the Giants. They had 4 runs. They pounded out 12 hits, and they made 1 error. It was 3-9-0 for the Hawks last night. Yoshikawa got his second win of the spring, and it was Atsu who took the loss. And the save went to Morita for the Giants. Home runs in last night's ballgame, the Giants, Yoshikawa homered and Richard homered for the Hawks. Well, Ito has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway as he is just receiving the ball after they've thrown it around the infield. So whether you listen live or on delay, we do appreciate you guys for stopping in. As we said, this is warm-up game number 1 for us here of the NPB season with the new-look Hawks, or some of the new-look Hawks there as well. Cabbage batting from the left side as he steps up to the plate here. As the right-hander ready to deliver, he kicks and fires, and the first pitch is swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. Counters 0-1. Giants in their gray uniforms with Tokyo across the front of the jersey with the black trim. The Hawks are in their home whites with yellow or the gold and black trim. As the right-hander works to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball that Cabbage checks his swing on, but it's taken for a called strike, and he finds himself in the hole now at 0-2. Cabbage off to a slow start in spring training, but he's picked it up as of late. He's 6 for 22. He has got no homers and a couple of RBIs. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander who kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's chopped foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. Good opportunity for Cabbage to stake a claim for himself. He was with the Angels, and then they flipped him to the Houston Astros. And now he has made his way over to Yomiuri, or at least to Tokyo, to play with the Yomiuri Giants. Be a good opportunity. He is young enough that he may have some bounce back in him. There is a split finger pitch swung on and chopped foul over on the first base side. And our friend Jimmy is in the house. Looks like it's going to be a late night tonight, Jimmy. But we appreciate you for being in here with us. Hopefully we can keep you awake, as we are expecting not a big crowd for this one here, exhibition baseball, but opening night just over 2 weeks away. We expect a wild and crazy crowd for that one. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2 on Cabbage. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Elier Hernandez and Naoki Yoshikawa to come to bat here for the Giants in their half of inning number 1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As Ito kicks and fires, there's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, from left to right field, Yanagita is in left. The center fielder is Shudo, and in right field, it is Masaki. As the right-hander Ito kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, and another one grounded foul over on the first base side. And now this is turning into a bit of a battle. This is already 7 pitches that Cabbage has seen in the at-bat. Around the horn from first to third, Yamakawa gets the start at first. Jeter Downs is the second baseman for Fukuoka tonight, with Kawase at short and Richard at third, and the battery of Ito and Manai. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Cabbage was looking for, but he certainly wasn't looking for the fastball on the outside corner, but that's what's done him in. He's in the books for out number 1, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Elier Hernandez. Well, for Hernandez, he is 6 for 23. He's got a couple of homers and 3 RBIs here in the spring. Another import player, back-to-back to lead off the ball game here for the Yomiuri Giants. And the first pitch is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner at 90 miles an hour. The count is quickly 1-0. Hernandez batting from the right side. Has himself a slightly open stance. And the pitch comes in. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking forward to being on the call for a number of games this year, as our goal is to be north of 100. There's a fastball swung on. This is looping liner right to the glove of the second baseman Downs, as he is there to make the catch. And Hernandez is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Naoki Yoshikawa. And for Yoshikawa, well, he is off to a hot start here in the spring. He is 9 for 18 at the plate, homer and 4 runs batted in. He gets the start at second base tonight for the Giants. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Ito. As Ito works himself set, now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Yoshikawa earlier in the series, in fact, yesterday, was able to deposit a 2-run blast. As there's a breaking ball that is waved on and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1. The 30-year-old, everyday second baseman for the Giants, hit nearly 290 last year. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. Downs fielded, throws to first, and that is going to do it. Yoshikawa's in the books on a ground out 4-3. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Giants in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through a half inning. Your score is the Giants 0 and the Hawks coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate our friend Jimmy for listening in. Anybody else out there? Well,
shall we begin?
Hop into it.
Let's begin now.
Timing of the innings on the in-between. It is coming to bat here for the Hawks. It's the top of the order to be Shuto, Tanegawara, and Yanagita, as they will be facing Yori Yamazaki for the Yomiuri Giants. Yamazaki 1-0 in the spring. He has worked 7 2/3 innings in 3 games. He's allowed 9 hits, 4 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 5 as he takes to the hill here for the Giants. He's just completing his tune-up tosses. He is going to be facing Yukio Shuto, Kenta Tanegawara, and Yuki Yanagita, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters to come to bat here for the Hawks. First inning. Defensively tonight for the Giants, and we'll give you the outfield first from left to right field. It is Hernandez in left. The center fielder is Maru. The right fielder of Cabbage. Around the horn from first to third. Okamoto is at first. Yoshikawa at second. Katawaki is the shortstop with Nakayama at third. And the battery of Yamazaki and the catcher Oshiro tonight. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is 1-1 to Shuto. Strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Shuto. So no balls and 2 strikes. Shuto batting from the left side here against the right-hander Yamazaki, who does a little bit of hesitation, and he delivers, and it's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not a full house in Fukuoka for this one, but a decent crowd nonetheless, as it is interleague play. Lots of empty seats noticed as that fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is the only game tonight in the NPB, as the pitch is a fastball that misses down. A good stop there by the catcher Oshiro, and that runs the count now even at 2-2. All the other teams have the night off, but most teams will resume action tomorrow. And as we mentioned, the Chicago Cubs and the Dodgers are in town, and they'll be taking on the Giants. I say in town, in Japan. They'll be taking on the Giants and the Tigers on a couple of different nights, and we'll be there to give you the late games. Those will be the ones from the Tokyo Dome. As that fastball swung on, it's popped up. Camping out underneath it is the second baseman, Yoshikawa, and he's there in plenty of space and room to make the catch. And Shuto is gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Kenta Tanegawara. Well, for Tanegawara, he is 1 for 12 this spring. Getting the spot in the 2-hole. He has no homers and 1 run driven in. Lots of ugly-looking batting averages in the Hawks lineup here for this one tonight. But it is exhibition play. They got to get sorted out. Got another couple of weeks as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Tanegawara. No balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander as Yamazaki delivers. It's a fastball that moves Tanegawara off of the plate, and the count goes now to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Right-hander again back to work. He delivers a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Slow with the right hand was the home plate umpire, but that makes the count now to 1-2 on Tanegawara. Again, the right-hander Works to the set, now delivers. Fastball misses down, checking the swing as the designated hitter of the Hawks, but the third base umpire says, no, we didn't go, and that keeps the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Find it fascinating, not just in Major League Baseball, but now in Japan. They flash the spin rate of the ball onto the screen, and I can't think of, in some ways, a more useless statistic, as there's a fastball that is fouled into the netting behind home plate. I mean, the spin rate on the ball, we can see the result of the pitch. Either it's a fastball or a changeup or a breaking ball. But it doesn't really give you a whole lot of depth in the overall scheme of things. There's a fastball that swung on it, is lined into the seats just over the third base dugout, and the count goes to 2-2. I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were talking about, relevant stats. If you show me a bat speed stat, that's great, but I'd like to know what the guy's bat speed is with 2 strikes. Does he shorten up? Does he change his swing? Does he try to put it in play? Fastball lifted foul on the third base side of home plate. The count remains at 2-2. Often you see a lot of people, what they'll do is they have the bat speed, and I want to tell you what it is, but we're not in a contest for bat speed. There is our friend God is great in the house. There's a chopper swung on. It's grounded over to short, taken on a couple of hops neatly by Katawaki. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Tanagawara on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Yuki Yanagita. Glad you could make it in here with us tonight there, Titus. It's much appreciated for you listening in. It's going pretty good. We're getting the kinks out for this one, but we're going to try to do the exhibition games between the Cubs and the Dodgers when they play the Yomiuri Giants this weekend. Won't be able to do the Tigers, as there's a first pitch breaking ball tapped slowly foul down the first base line. That is off of the foot of Yanagita, and the count is quickly 0-1. So hopefully you can join us for some of that. It would be a lot of fun. Curious to see how the Dodgers will line up against the Giants in that one. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. Of course, a lot of people will be coming out to see Seiya Suzuki, Shota Imanaga, the Cubs, and the 3-headed monster of the Dodgers. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. I noted this week I haven't really been keeping up on the Major League transactions. One of the things that I was noticed is that Hae-Seung Kim, the Korean that signed with the Dodgers, was not on the travel roster to Japan for this one, as that fastball misses inside and the count goes to 2-2. Titus says his wife is going to watch the game in a couple of days. I assume she's going to the one in Tokyo, not to the one in Osaka, but that's just an assumption. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung out in the dirt. It is missed. They aren't able to tag Yanagita. They're going to have to throw down to first. It's going to go as a strikeout with 2-3 as the putout to retire Yanagita for the third out of the inning. And the Hawks go in order themselves here in the bottom half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 1 complete. Your score is the Giants 0 and the Hawks 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll hold it down here with our friend God is great, Jimmy, if he's still awake, and everybody else who pops in. We'll be back in just a few. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Giants here in inning number 2. That means Okamoto, Maru, and Sakamoto to come to bat to face Ito. 14 pitches in the first inning for the Fukuoka right-hander. Is he ready to face the big fella, the first baseman of the Giants? As the first pitch is on the way, and it is a fastball at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Okamoto having a rough spring. He was 3 for 16 so far with a homer and a couple RBIs. As the right-hander is already here. Redbeard is in the house too, of course. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Any which way that we can get back up to the 4K is much appreciated. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Okamoto. Okamoto, we've seen him live. He's a big fella in that from the waist down. Really, really strong thighs. Big calves as he swings at a breaking ball and misses. Count goes to 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Again, Ito working to the set. Looking to go away again. Here comes the pitch. On its way, another breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. Kind of surprised they won't. So Ito getting his side from his catcher. As we said, the competition right now is for the starting role behind the plate for the Hawks. As that fastball misses outside, the count is 3-2. Their former number 1 in Takuya Kai is now a Yomiuri Giant. And he's not in the Giant lineup tonight, but he is a big piece of the puzzle that is no longer in Fukuoka. As the 3-2 pitch is from Ito. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. We were saying about Takuya Kai, he was very happy. He got benched in the playoffs, or certainly in the Japan series. Wasn't swinging a very good bat, but the manager decided to go a different direction in the middle of the series. As that fastball was tapped slowly over to third, fielded there by Richard. He fires over to first. And Okamoto is in the books on a ground out 5-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Yoshihiro Maru. The others in the heart of the order here struggling for the Giants. 4 for 16. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs this spring. When I was last year in Tokyo, I saw the Giants and the Swallows at the Jingu Stadium. And for those of you who aren't aware or don't know, they have a very interesting first pitch of the ball game, as all these teams do. That breaking ball misses inside for ball 1. And Maru was the leadoff hitter that night for the Giants. And usually what they have is they have a fan or somebody come out to throw the first pitch of the ball game out. Fastball that is taken for a called strike. It's count even at 1-1. And Maru, and whoever the fan, not fan, whoever the celebrity was who came out to throw the first pitch, as there's a fastball that is swung on it, is lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is Yanagita. And that is going to retire Maru. He's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. Just to finish off with Maru, whoever the celebrity was that was on the mound fired a heater. And you know when people are throwing out first pitches and what they're like. But this guy was pretty firm. I would have thought it was probably 85 to 87 miles an hour. And it came up and in on Maru. And Maru came back to the dugout. And you could tell he wasn't particularly amused by the first pitch of the game. There's a fastball that swung on it, is lifted into shallow right field. Coming in underneath it with room to make the catch is Masaki. And that is going to do it. The Giants go quietly in order here again in their half of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1.5. Your score is the Giants, no score, and Fukuoka, no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll try to keep you entertained as long as we possibly can.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Appreciate you there, Eric, and everybody who listens in to us as well. It is going to be, what would I expect that the starters would be in the game for probably 5 or 6 innings as it gets a little deeper into spring training. They start stretching out a bit more. The first pitch to Yamakawa is a splitter that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yamakawa, 2 for 12 in the exhibition season. And the right-hander Yamazaki, who kicks and delivers. Fastball comes inside, and did it hit him? It certainly got a piece of him, or did it get the bat first? I'm not sure. But whatever it is, the big fella is in a whole host of pain. He got it right on the bottom part of the hand, and he's walking back toward the dugout. I have a feeling his night is going to be over pretty quick. Manager is out. They're going to have a look at him here. We'll know in a couple moments. They're going to take him down the tunnel, and then we'll see if we get a runner for him straight away. But he's probably not the happiest of campers here. So Yamakawa making his way down the tunnel. We'll have a little bit of a pause here. Get a look at that one again. It was looked like a two-seamer that ran up inside, and he just couldn't get his hands out of the way. He was leading with his hands, hit where the knob of the bat was, so it caught the left hand. And that could be a lot of trouble. That's very, very painful. If he ends up ending up breaking a bone in that hand, he could be down for quite a while. And that would be a massive loss out of the batting order for the Hawks. And it does look like they have a runner in the game for him. So that's a quick night. You're in the ball game and you get hit by a pitch with your first at bat. And we'll look to see who they are bringing on board here are the Hawks, number 43. So they say. It is going to bring up to the plate Tomoya Masaki. And the first pitch to Masaki is swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. This ball is trouble. It's on the warning track, and backing up and making the catch is Maru. And then retreating all the way back to the bag is the pinch runner. So one gone as Masaki is in the books. It looks like it is Toya Inoue, who is now in the ball game for Yamazaki. Well, that brings Jeter Downs to the plate. Downs has had an enjoyable spring, one of the better hitters in the lineup for the Hawks. He is 8 for 20, a homer and 3 RBIs. Downs came over to the Hawks toward the end of last season. He ended up playing in the playoffs a little bit, and he is getting his opportunities now as he steps in here against Yamazaki. And the first pitch is swung on and is lifted into shallow right field. Coming in on it with room to make the catch is Trey Cabbage, and that is going to retire Downs. So 2 gone here. That's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Richard. Jimmy Feltner says Jeter. Yeah. Good old Jeter Downs. He was part of that trade that, if I'm not mistaken, he came to the Red Sox as part of the Mookie Betts trade. Also, I believe spent some time with the Cincinnati Reds and amongst other teams. Washington Nationals as well come to mind before he has made his way across the pond. And he's still young enough. He's only 26 years old. First pitch is a splitter swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Richard. And the 25 at-bats here in the spring, we said Richard's got 8 hits, but he has also gone down swinging 11 times. And that will be the conundrum here for the young fella if he can cut down on the strikeouts. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. That is something that he is not able to always do. So we got 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. I would have to think that he's got to start thinking about having a better plan at the plate. Well, that approach is what he might be looking for. He seems to be confused often, more often than enough. And I'd also think that the Hawks want to start seeing some traction from him over the next year or so. There's a fastball in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher Oshiro, and advancing on the wild pitch is the runner Inoue. That's going to put runners at first, or that's going to put runner at second base with 2 gone. So runner in scoring position. It was a split finger pitch that bounced about a foot or so in front of the plate, ended up trickling away from the catcher. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Richard. As he waits here on the offering from the right-hander Yamazaki. Yamazaki checks the runner at second, and now he fires. There is a breaking ball down. The appeal to the first base umpire, and they said that he went. Oshiro thought he went. He was calling for it. The home plate umpire didn't think so. But that is going to be Richard down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, and that's going to do it here for the Hawks. Well, they got a runner in the inning on the hit by pitch. It was Inoue who came in to run, but he was stranded at second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings. Your score is the Giants nothing and the Hawks nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back. And guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Friend Jeremy Orr in the house, and a good morning to you, sir. Welcome back, everybody. Ito is back in action here as it's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat. That means it's the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a strike, and now a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Brandon Jensen in the house tonight as well. We appreciate you for popping in, Brandon. Jeremy says he's been enjoying the news videos as the pitch is on the way. There is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field, moving back underneath it with room at the edge of the warning track to make the catch is Yukio Shudo, and that is going to retire Oshiro for the 1st out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the shortstop Makoto Katawaki. Our friend Jeremy was saying about the videos. We're going to drop another one here in the next day or so. I was hoping to get most of it done here tonight, and that would be of the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That'll be their scouting report. That one will drop. Brandon says he's editing videos and going to let this roll in the background. As there's a fastball swung on it, is taken on 1 hop by the 3rd baseman, Richard. He fires across the diamond. And Katawaki is going to be retired on a ground out 5-3. He's in the books for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Aredo Nakayama. Jeremy says the audio is a little choppy tonight. Yeah, it looks like we've got a little bit of a questionable signal tonight. I'm not sure why that is. This is exhibition season, and we're trying to get out our exhibition kinks, and we apologize for that. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Brandon says, who's going to win this one? I would expect tonight that maybe the Hawks will pull it out late. As the 1-0 is on the way, it's a getaway game for the Giants as the breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Nakayama is 9 for 26 in the exhibition season, no homers and 3 RBIs. As the right-hander Ito kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1. So both the starters tonight have been very efficient in their short innings of work at this point. Only 32 pitches so far for the righty Ito, as he has gone after and attacked the Giant hitters. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined in right field into the corner. That's the first hit of the ball game. That's going to be extra bases. Going in after it is the right fielder Masaki. And cruising into second base with a stand-up double is Nakayama. So his hot hitting continues as he is aboard with a 2. It'll bring up the top of the order in Trey Cabbage. And for Cabbage, he had a solid at-bat going down on strikes. It was an 8-pitch at-bat, quality at-bat, as he was up for the first time to lead off the ball game. And Cabbage, 6 for 23 now in the exhibition season, batting here with 2 gone and a runner at second base. As the right-hander Ito ready to deliver. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. I really like the look at Cabbage. I kind of liked Cabbage in his short time with the Angels, as we said a couple of years ago. He got flipped in the offseason last year to the Houston Astros, and he never got a sniff at the big league level. But I really enjoy watching him play. Our friend, as I said, Jeremy said our stream was a little bit choppy. It's hopefully won't be choppy during the year, but we're, for whatever reason, on a bit of a low signal. They throw down to second base, and diving back safely is the base runner Nakayama. Brandon says, any standouts in the lineup? Well, for the Giants, it's a pretty loaded lineup for them, even tonight. I would say their top 6 hitters in the lineup. They can go 6 deep with Elier Hernandez waiting on deck as the pitch is on the way. Fastball misses down, 1-1 to Cabbage. Well, Cabbage and Hernandez, they're expecting a lot of pop and power from both of them. You got Yoshikawa at second base, who's had an outstanding spring. He's an everyday guy. Okamoto at first, Maru, the veteran center fielder, and Hayato Sakamoto, who plays third base when he's not DHing as he is tonight, gives them a pretty steady 6 players in the lineup. That is kind of their version of Murderer's Row. As the 1-1 pitch is on its way, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. On the flip side tonight for the Hawks, it's not one of their stronger lineups. They are missing the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. He is got a bit of an injury right now. His injury bug has hit him, but it is expected that he'll be in the lineup by opening day, maybe get a couple other exhibition games in. As we mentioned, Jeter Downs in the lineup for the Hawks tonight. We'll probably lock down that position. No Kenta Imamiya at short tonight. He gets the night off. And unfortunately, they lost the big slugger, Yamakawa, being hit by a pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It's lined into the seats down the third base line, and the count remains at 1-2 to Cabbage. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander against the left-hander. Ito ready to go again as he gets his sign from his catcher, Manai. And now Cabbage steps out and resets himself. So we're going to go through this dance again. 2 gone here in the 3rd inning. Giants and Hawks locked at zeros. There's no extra innings in this exhibition game tonight. So if it's locked up, it is locked up to the finish after 9. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. So Cabbage in his first at bat, 8 pitches before he struck out, and he's certainly making Ito work again here, as this is going to be pitch number 6 on its way in a moment. Ito gets his sign again from the catcher Manai. Works himself to the set position. Checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both of these clubs were the regular season champions in both of their respective leagues last year. So you're talking about some high-end talent for Japanese standards. There's a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2s. That's going to be the 8th pitch of the bat coming up here to Cabbage now. They almost got him there. It was foul tipped at the end of the bat, and the catcher Manai could not hang on as it landed just in front of him. So Cabbage just able to stay alive just a little bit. So here comes the 2-2 pitch all over again as the right-hander works to the set. Checks the runner at second, checks him again. Now delivers. Fastball swung on another one, grounded foul, and the count still remains at 2-2. So you think about it, 17 pitches Cabbage has seen tonight from the starter, and he's thrown 41 in the ballgame. So Cabbage has seen almost half of the pitches. Pretty impressive. So the right-hander again, ready to deliver as Ito works himself to the set. Checks the runner at second, now fires. It's a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Cabbage. They do have the open base over at first base, but it is Elier Hernandez coming to the plate. I'm sure that they don't want to have Elier or to have to face Elier with a lot of ducks on the pond. As the right-hander kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball that misses down. That's going to be ball 4. Cabbage is his way over to first base. So a 2-out walk, and that brings Elier Hernandez to the plate. Our friend Jeremy says, why do they do ties in spring training? He goes, I don't like the ties. Well, generally speaking, in exhibition, because the games at the end of the day don't mean anything, they, at least for the standings, sometimes they'll have a preset number of players or preset number of pitchers that they would have for the game or that they would plan to use. And so that way there, it's kind of scripted out. I know Major League Baseball, I don't know so much about how they do currently, but sometimes it used to be that they would go an extra inning or maybe have enough for an extra couple innings. And then it would be the managers would discuss when to call it. That's the way it used to be. So this brings Elier Hernandez to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He softly lined out to Jeter Downs in the first inning. And here's the first pitch from Ito. On and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Hernandez. Hernandez 6 for 23 in the exhibition season, with a couple of homers and 3 runs batted in. I should say 6 for 24 now, with that soft line out earlier in the ball game. Right-hander working himself to the set position. Ito checks the runners. Checks him again at second base. Now delivers. Fastball just misses down and away, and the count runs even to rank to Elier Hernandez. And for those who are just joining us tonight, we appreciate you guys for popping in. It's live commentary of the Giants and the Hawks from Fukuoka. So if you've got a chance to find a stream, dub it up and check us out. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined. It's going to go foul down the right field line. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Elier Hernandez. We'll try to get our other Japan baseball report up possibly tomorrow night. More than likely, probably Friday at some point. Try to run that. And as we said, we're going to try to do the Cubs and the Dodgers games against the Yomiuri Giants this weekend as well. So join us for that late night. Hopefully you can be there. 1-2 pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count goes to 2-2 on Hernandez. Excited to see some exhibition baseball from Japan, and Hopefully that'll be, as we said, the Giants and Dodgers, a little preview of what's to come. I wouldn't expect any of the Japanese stars to be on the mound for that one. Haven't seen the starting pitchers announced yet, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Count remains at 2-2, although I did notice that the Yomiuri Giants announced that it would be Masahiro Tanaka getting the start against the Cubs. I believe that is who he was given the nod against. I would think that maybe Shoshi Togo would get the honors against the Dodgers, but we'll have to wait and see. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set again. Checks the runner at second and kicks and fires. That ball spiked up to the plate. Oh, there's a good stop there by the catcher Manai. Now the count goes to 3-2 on Hernandez. So the runners are going to be on the move here on the pitch. We'll see how Ito tries to put him away. He was cruising right along until that 2-out double by Nakayama. He retired the first 8 in a row in the ball game here. Now he's got himself in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Coming in is Shuto. He slides and makes an outstanding catch as he takes it off the carpet. And that is going to retire Hernandez for the third out of the inning. The speed of Yukio Shuto on display there to make the final out of the inning. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom half of inning number 3. Your score is the Giants 0 and the Hawks 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Fukuoka Softbank Hawks coming to bat here in inning number 3. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for Fukuoka here. It'll be Manai Kawase at the top of the order. Yukio Shuto made that outstanding catch to end the play. The 29-year-old has got some wheels to burn. He was the stolen base leader last year in Saki is on its way. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is on 1 to Manai. Manai 1 for 6 in the exhibition season. He has got no homers and a couple RBIs. As our friend got his great pokes his head in and says hello to Brandon Jensen. There is a fastball that Manai tried to check his swing on, but he couldn't hold up, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Titus checking in with everybody here. We appreciate you for being here as well. As we said, it's going to be the weekend where we're going to call the games. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Coming in and making the catch on the run is Cabbage, and that's going to retire Manai for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the shortstop pick, Karo Kawase. What do we expect from this game tonight? We were wondering earlier on if we were going to see a high-scoring affair or not. So far in the exhibition series, At least in this particular one here. It was 4-3 last night in favor of the Giants. As the breaking ball catches the outside corner and the count is 1-1 to Kawase. Night before was a 4-4 tie. I would expect that the runs will come as the outside corner and the count goes to 0-2 on Kawase. This is Kawase's first at-bat of the exhibition season, his first appearance. As the 0-2 pitch is on its way from Yamazaki, there's a fastball that backs him off the plate. And the count now goes to 1-2. He gets the start at shortstop tonight. As we said, Kenta Imamiya not in the lineup. Tomorrow night, these two teams get the night off, and then it'll be the Dodgers and the Giants. They go on Saturday, and the Dodgers and the Cubs go on Sunday. There's a fastball swung on, is sliced down the left field line, and it's just going to slice foul as it bounds in foul territory, and it's going to keep the count at 1-2. So had that ball landed fair, it would have been extra bases for Kawase, 2 or maybe more. But he wasn't able to keep it in fair territory. Looking ahead for the Giants, they'll, after that 2-game miniseries against the major league teams, they'll play a 2-game set against the Kanodapan Ham Fighters. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down and away. Count goes to 2-2. Then they will play the Fighters. That will be up at Escon Field. As there's a fastball that is swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball here is going to be gone. A home run here for Kawase. Oh, boy, did that thing get out. Had a heck of a shot to it here as he rounds the bases. That's his first hit in his first at-bat of spring training. And what a way to announce yourself with a solo shot off of Yomiuri Yamazaki. I got to tell you, Trey Cabbage stood there and looked. I thought for a minute that maybe he was going to move back and make the catch, but that ball just kept carrying right out 100 miles an hour off the crack of the bat. And Kawase has got the Hawks on the board here with a 1-0 lead here in the third inning. And the first pitch delivered up to Yuki Oshuto's taken for a call and strike. I was talking about the Giants. The Giants then will play the Chibalote Marines for 3. And then they will start the season against the Yakult Swallows. There's a ground ball hit to first, fielded by Okamoto. He flips it to the pitcher covering, and he's going to win the race to the bag to beat Shuto, although the manager, Kakubo, wants to go upstairs and have a look at this. We're going to see if they did indeed win the race. Shuto thinks he may have beaten it out. We're going to get a wait on this one here. This is the one thing I kind of, well, I don't know if I kind of like it. They do go under, and it's the umpires who make the call. They are the ones who will go and take a look and make the decision as they go under the stands. So we usually update our, for those of you who are with us, we update our banners always at the end of the half inning. But with the Hawks scoring here and a bit of a timeout, we'll get the look at the replay ourselves and see if we can make a determination if Shuto was indeed safe or not. I've got him as, I got him as an out. I think the umpire made the right call. I think he is going to be out when they return, and I don't think it's going to be very long for them to have to make this call. Yep, I think Shuto is going to be retired here. I'm so confident I'm going to put that in the book as a ground out, 3-1 for the second out of the inning. And here come the umpires, and the call is correct. It is an out call. That is charged to the Hawks over here, as they've got one of their 2 challenges has been lost. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Kenta Tanagawara. Tanagawara 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to short his first time up, 1 for 13 in the exhibition season. He swings at the first pitch he sees. He grounds it softly to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop Kadawaki, who throws to first, and Tanagawara is gone. Ground out 6-3 to end the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks and their half of the inning. 1 run in the inning on the home run by Kawase. 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. They've broken the ice. A third of the game is in the books. Your score is the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks won the Yomiuri Giants, no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat here for the Giants in inning number 4. That means Yoshikawa, Okamoto, and Maru, who has now got himself a 1-0 lead to work with, courtesy of that solo homer in the bottom of the third off of the bat of the shortstop Hikaru Kawase. So Ito ready to go here, ready to resume the action. As Yoshikawa 0 for 1 tonight, he had grounded to second his only time up. As the right-hander holds to the set position and he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. You really got to wait for the home plate umpire here because he does make a very delayed and, for that matter, deliberate call. 0-1 on the way. Breaking ball misses down in it, and the count goes to 1-1. Hawks and Giants here for live English commentary, as we are giving you guys the updates here on the game in Fukuoka. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It is chopped softly over to short, fielded on the run. Oh, what a great play there by the shortstop Kawase. He's doing it all. Hitting the home run and making the plays, as that is going to retire Yoshikawa on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. That'll bring up the first baseman, Kaz Okamoto. That was a tough play. You know, you think about it, it chopped, and then he had to come in and get it. He had to take it on the short hop and then throw on the run. It was a great play there by the shortstop, not missing a beat. With Kenta Imamiya not in the lineup tonight, there's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Okamoto. Okamoto 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to third his first time up. 3 for 17 in the exhibition season as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. As we mentioned, Okamoto is a very stocky fella, very strong fella. He is from the waist down, very, very thick, big calves. There's a breaking ball swung on this. His line just foul down the left field line, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Okamoto. Wants to turn loose on the pitch. So here we go. Here comes the 1-2 offering. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses down and away. And the count now goes to 2-2 on Okamoto. I don't know if we're going to do anything tomorrow night. We're kind of mixed on it, although we might, because as I said, and the Cubs playing the Giants. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Richard. He throws to first, and Okamoto gone for the second time tonight on a ground out 5-3. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the center fielder, Yoshihiro Maru. And for Maru, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew to left field his first time up. 4 for 17 in the exhibition season with the homer and a couple RBIs. But real strike. The count is 0-1. Very effective pitching tonight, and use of pitches for Ito. 55 pitches. Fastball just misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike. And just a reminder, we are doing our Japan baseball reports. So if you are around and are checking in on us, we swung on. This ball is lifted in deep left center field. Moving back in front of the warning track, and there to make the catch is Shudo, and he's going to retire Maru for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it as, again, the Giants go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're through 3.5. Your score is the Hawks won the the 3, 4, and 5 hitters scheduled to come to bat. That means it's going to be Yanagita, Inoue, and Masaki, as they are slated to face the right-hander Yori Yamazaki for his beginning of his 4th inning of work. Otake Yamakawa left the ballgame. We don't have any updates on him as of yet, as he got hit by a pitch in the first inning, which brought Inoue into the ballgame. 61 pitches for the right-hander Ito through his 4 innings of work, as the right-hander Yamazaki delivers a slow breaking ball that's waved out and missed 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita 2 for 14 in the exhibition season. Off to a tough start. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Yamazaki, as he delivers a breaking ball that is swung on. This is sliced down the left field line. This is going to get trouble. It's going to bounce down, and it's going to make its way to the foul line, rounding first and sliding into second with a double. Bit of an excuse me base hit there by Yanagita, but he'll take it nonetheless. He's got a lead-off double here to start the 4th inning. He just kind of threw his bat out at it, and the ball just was able to slice and stay in fair territory. Once it bounced, it kept moving away from Elier Hernandez, but he was able to track it down. We're starting to say about Yanagita, he's 36 years old, classic next year. He wants to have a big year. Between him and Kensuke Kondo, who's not in the lineup tonight, they are going to have to feed off one another for the Hawks this year to do damage again in the Pacific League. There's a first pitch breaking ball waved out and missed by Inoue, and the count is quickly 0-1. 22-year-old Inoue is 5 for 18 in the exhibition play. As we mentioned, he came in to pinch run for Yamakawa back in the 2nd inning. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2, so no balls and 2 strikes. Certainly don't want getting your starters banged up. I know major league players, especially early in spring training, they always like to get their one at bat in against the major league pitcher, and then they like to make to the exits, especially when you've got players that are AAA or AA players that are throwing hard and don't have the command and control. Fastball swung on and lifted into the seats, foul on the first base side of home plate. You get their one at bat in, and then it's, hey, let's get to the showers and get to the golf course, because when you get those young arms throwing 100 miles an hour or upwards of 100, especially the ones that are in the lower minors, you don't want to really see those guys early on in spring training. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball missing down and away. The count goes to 1-2 on Inoue. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, we are going to be back on the airwaves on 2 nights from today when the Giants are going to be taking on the Cubs. And I believe those games are going to go off at 7 o'clock local time, which would be 3 in the morning Pacific or 6 a.m. Eastern. So if you're up on the East Coast, and if you're up really late on the West Coast, stay with us. We'll probably have to come home and have a nap before we get on to the call of that one. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Inoue. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on it, is chopped softly over to third. Fielded on the run by the third baseman, Nakayama, who throws to first. But it is going to advance Yanagita over to third. It's going to go down as a ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring Tomoya Masaki to the plate. And the Hawks are trying to add another run. I started to tell a story a little bit about Yanagita wanting to play in the Classic. And he's going to have to get off to a good start. He's going to have a big year. But I also understand that he's out of contract at the end of this season. So that's another piece that he was talking about. Is he going to make that his swan song? Does he want to play in the Classic? Does he want to get prepared to play for another year for the Hawks? They haven't negotiated anything with him yet. I would think he's going to retire a Hawk. As here comes the pitch from the right-hander, Yamazaki. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Certainly there's a number of younger players in Japanese baseball that would be pushing for that spot. That Yanagita can't play. He's slowly being phased out as an everyday player. As we noted tonight, he's got the start in left field with Masaki taking over in right field. So that ought to give you an indication of what they think of Masaki. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. That was the 50th pitch delivered on the evening by Yamazaki. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at third. Yanagita 1 gone here in the 4th. As the right-hander works to the set position. He holds himself set. Now he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it. This should be deep enough to get the run in. Moving back onto the edge of the warning track is Maru, tagging at third. And coming home to score is Yanagita. That's going to be a sacrifice fly to 8. It's going to double the lead as the Hawks now are up 2-0. On the sacrifice fly here by Masaki for the second out of the inning as Yanagita comes across to score. Jeremy says the game will be on the MLB network as well. I'm not sure, Jeremy. I don't have the MLB network up here. Some of the cable providers do provide the MLB network and some don't. So I'm pretty sure I will be able to get a feed for that. I do have MLB.com, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to show that there, as there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Jeter Downs here, 0 for 1 tonight. Float to right field his first time up. As he takes a fastball that just misses, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeter Downs. And a fastball that's catching the outside corner. It goes to 1-2. Downs is 8 for 21 in the exhibition season with a homer and 3 RBIs. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind home plate, and the count goes, or still remains, at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Baseball does Yamazaki. He's ready to go back at it. Pitch on the way to Downs. Another one swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. Count remains at 1-2. As we said, not a full house tonight for this one. It is a decent crowd, but certainly not a regular season crowd at this point. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is, as the right-hander ready to go again. Works himself to the set. Out of the inning, I'm going to do it. You got 1 run in the inning on 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We're now through 4 complete. Your score is the Hawks 2 and the Giants no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple more. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat here to face Ito in the 5th inning, and that means Hayato Sakamoto, Takuzo Oshiro, and then it'll be Mikado Katawaki, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside for a ball. Count is 1-0. 61 pitches through the 4 innings for the right-hander Ito. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander against the right-hander, and stepping off the mound is Ito as he goes to the rosin bag. Right-hander again delivers, fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Sakamoto. Ito's been pretty decent so far, only 1 hit and 1 walk allowed at this point. As the right-hander kicks and delivers a fastball that misses down, it's going to be ball 4. So Sakamoto aboard on 4 consecutive balls, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Takuzo Oshiro. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound on a full sprint. As he's going to come out and have a word here with his young right-hander. So I'll try to get through this inning of play here. There's words of encouragement because obviously he had broke a smile and he's ready to go again. So Shiro coming to bat. He flew out to center field his first time up, 5 for 17 in the exhibition season for the Giants catcher tonight. Katawaki waiting his turn on deck. Interesting, the pitching coach returned to the dugout and put his jacket back on. He came onto the field without his jacket and returned to the dugout to put it back on. There's a ball that's thrown over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Sakamoto. As the right-hander Ito ready to go again, delivers fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-1 on Oshiro. So no balls and a strike. Right-hander again working himself to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line, moving over toward the foul line with room to make the catch. And a nice play there to make the catch as he runs into the wall is Yuki Yanagita. And that is going to retire Oshiro for the first out of the inning. Of course, Yanagita, not really used to playing left field, plays a lot of right field for the Hawks, but new position for him as Yanagita makes the grab. It's interesting sometimes. I think about that. There was Alex Gordon, who played with the Kansas City Royals. He came up as a third baseman, and the latter part of his career, or the midway part of his career, they moved him out to left field. And at first they thought about playing him in right field, but it was Rusty Kuntz, who was the coach with the Royals at the time. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike to Kadewaki. Suggested he would be better served playing left field because he was used to getting the reads off of the bat of the hitters from the left side of the infield, and that was their reason for that. I thought that was kind of neat. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep center field. Moving back on it is Shudo. And he's there to make the grab, and that is going to retire Kadewaki. So 2 quick outs here after the walk to Sakamoto, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Rito Nakayama. And for Nakayama, well, he had doubled his first time up, but he may not be coming up to face he may not be coming up to face Ito. It looks like we're going to have a change here. Looks like the pitching coach or the manager on his way to out of the dugout has called for the change, and we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We got ourselves a pitching change here, as that is going to be the end of the night for Ito. He's done on 69 pitches. We'll take ourselves a timeout, and we'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
That's right, everybody. We got a pitching change, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. That is our friend Matt Hollis. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Rito Ogata on the hill here as he delivers a first pitch fastball for a call strike to Nakayama. He comes on with 2 out and a runner at first. Nakayama, the hot bat of the Giants, 10 for 27 in exhibition play. As there's a fastball swung on, it's lifted, foul into the seats. That last pitch was at 96 miles an hour on the radar gun. So Ogata coming in and throwing absolute gas. As I made the name a little bit, I changed the first name on him there a moment ago. There's a fastball that misses inside. Count goes to 1-2. It's his 4th appearance of the exhibition season. He does have a victory He's worked 3 innings pitched. He's allowed a couple of hits. He's struck out 4. So here trying to seal the deal here in the top of the 5th. Fastball swung on and fouled off over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2 to Rito Nakayama. After the 5th inning, I do believe they still take their little timeout, even in the exhibition play. We'll do that here as well ourselves. That fastball misses down. Count now goes even to 2-2 to Nakayama. Trey Cabbage waiting his turn on deck in the top of the order. As the right-hander works himself again to the set position. They throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Sakamoto. Keep your eye on him here. This is a good pitch to run on, 2-2. As the pitch is on the way, that sure didn't look like he came to a stop, and it is grounded just foul past the bag at first base. Boy, oh boy, I don't think Ogata really came to much of a stop there. The umpires didn't seem to mind. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now here to Nakayama. Game really had a pretty good clip to start. I always look for the first 5 innings to go about 90 minutes. And we're almost at that pace. The game had really got going through the first couple innings. It's slowed a little bit here the last inning and a half as Ogata throws over to first, and diving back in time is Sakamoto. As the right-hander delivers again, it's a fastball that misses down, and it's now 3-2 to Nakayama. Runner's got to be on the move with the pitch delivery here from the right-hander. Ogata kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Plenty of room there for Shuto as he's going to camp out underneath it and make the catch. And that is going to retire Nakayama for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks 2, the Yomiuri Giants, no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
We're just a little late getting here. Got to get our voice ready to go. Be prepared. Couple of changes here for the Giants. We're a bit raspy. Have to get ourselves another drink of water in between innings. First pitch breaking ball taken by Richard for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Just as it's exhibition season, we have to start the fifth inning by Richard. And that is going to increase the scoreline to 3-0. Solo shot here to begin the bottom half of the fifth inning. He gets high fives all the way around as he gets back to the 3-0 now for the Hawks. And that is going to bring up the catcher here. Hiroki. Ball was blistered over 110 miles an hour off the bat. Richard got out in a hurry. So I'm curious to see how long they're going to let Yamazaki roll here. If they maybe let him finish the batting order, or maybe they let him finish the inning. So Manai stepping to the plate 0-for-1 tonight. He has flown out to right. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again kicks and delivers. Breaking ball, waved that and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Manai. And fires. Fastball down, and it gets away from the catcher. Shiro goes all the way to the backstop, but that's going to run the count 2-2 down to Manai. Manai 1-for-7 in the exhibition season. Upgrade some of the offense in the position with the as the 2-2 is on the way. It's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called third strike. Oh, Manai didn't like that one. I'm sure he's going to have a couple of words with the home plate umpire when he comes back out in the next inning. A pitch sure looked down, and some good glove work there by Oshiro to buy that strike for his pitcher, and that's going to retire him for the third out of the inning, or the first out of the inning. And well, for shootout tonight, he is 0-for-2, but he's made some sparkling defensive plays. One strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Shudo. Yamasaki looking to finish strong here as the 0-2 on the way is a fastball missing up. Kenta Tanegawara waits his turn on deck. Comes the pitch. Fastball misses down. It goes now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shudo. Shudo's last at bat, they used one of their challenges on because he had raced down the baseline only to be thrown out by half a step. Fastball swung on, chop side. Go play there. Welcome back, everybody. Off the bat of Richard in the last half inning. The other one was off the bat of Hikaru Kawase, and sandwiched in between was a sacrifice fly off the bat of Tomoya Masaki. And that is how the Hawks have themselves a 3-0 lead. The right-hander Ogata in for another inning of work with 2 out to replace the right-hander in the last half inning. And it's Trey Cabbage who swings through a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for 1 strike here. Cabbage 0 for 1 tonight, strikeout and a walk, and went away down the left field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Cabbage. It all gets going for real 2 weeks from tomorrow night, as the left-handed hitting Cabbage waiting here on the offering from the right-hander. Who kicks and delivers. A slow breaking ball is taken for a called third strike. Oh, Cabbage, he stood there like the house heating it up here. Balls and 1 strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Hernandez. 6 for 25 in the exhibition season for the outfielder of the Giants. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. And 2 on Hernandez. One, 2 pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on, popped up into shallow center field. It's like that. Calls everybody off, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Hernandez for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and it's going to leave it up to Naoki Yoshikawa. And for trips, 9 for 20 in the exhibition season. Change here. Looks like Yoshikawa's night is done. We'll have to get you that. It is a left-handed hitting. This is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. Looks like it is Yu Aramaki. So Amaraki on with a base on ball. The scouting report they say he's a rookie, obviously a rookie infielder with a powerful swing. At Jobu University, led the team with the batting line. He was definitely their main hitter. It was the 4th year known as the home run and RBI. As the right-hander checks in, and he works himself set to the belt. Now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. Just a no. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2 on Okamoto. So 2 gone here in the 6th. Runner at first. is Aramaki. Kazuo Komodo at the plate here. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and missed. And that is strikes. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that's going to be next in their half of the sixth. No runs, no hits, no errors. They did have a runner left on base. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the sixth, it is the Hawks 3, the Giants no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us here tonight. I go away for just a couple moments. And our tonight, I don't know what the situation is. We've had moments. I don't know if that's any better. There's a bit of a low signal here on this one, and it's not been the best. God is great is still with us. Let me know what you think. I've just done a couple of little adjustments with this. Half second here, fellas. We'll see if our feed is any better. And if it is better, there's lots of changes as well here for the Giants, and that's why if we're not, let's see where we're at here with this one. Hopefully that is not the case. I'm going to try to do a little back feed here on my own to see if I can see if this is any better. There's another fastball that misses up, and the count now goes to 2-0. Yeah, looks like everybody's right.